Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome to Jibber Jabber. I am your host, Skadarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift. With me today, we have Paladin57, one of my patrons.
Hi.
We have the author of Human Nature and their very own sons, Blank Page.
Hello.
We have Hades Shadow 92, who is also here.
Hello.
And we have the author of the Change series, the author of the Patreon exclusive reading, and of course the co-author on many Idiosyverse stories, Tom117Z.
Hello.
So, with all that said, how have all of your weeks been? Ow!
A lot better than yours, I guess.
What the fuck was that sound?
It came from your end.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't me. It wasn't.
Yeah, we saw your ring.
I
your
am
ring light up.
confused. I didn't hear anything.
It wasn't me. I was muted. So
Well, something just split my ears in half. Ow!
What was it? I didn't hear anything.
You don't need your ears.
I don't know, and yes, I do.
As long as your voice still goes, you can still work.
No, I do need my ears because it's not just my voice, it's my capacity to adjust audio levels. Without my ears, I wouldn't be able to do my job.
oh come on, a deaf person can still
okay.
do the job you do.
Well, the moment that happened, I muted my mic to cough and then unmuted it. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it.
Yeah, well,
I didn't mute on the Discord. I literally turned the mic off.
that's probably what did it then. Anyways, back to the question that I asked before my entire head got raped. How's your week been, everyone?
Wow.
It's been
Been
quiet.
Eh.
Then I'm leaving university till September, come Tuesday. So yay! I've been packing up.
Woohoo! And we get to write all kinds of crazy shit with Snuggles on Thursday. Woohoo!
Oh, the snuggly chrysalis is coming.
Yep, and then immediately the day after that, I get to go to Everfree Northwest, which means there won't be any Jibber Jabber next week.
Oh shoot!
Fair enough.
Well, dang. I was actually gonna ask you a question about the next one. Never mind.
What's the
We'll
question?
have to wait.
Well, I was gonna ask if I could like steal 5 minutes of that next week's time so I can do a little promotional thing I was gonna try to do, but never mind because I don't got anything written down for it. Whoopsies.
Week after that, it'll be fine. Anyways, so
Well, 2 episodes to catch up on then.
That's it. So, Everfree Northwest, you excited, Tom?
I mean, I'm also kind of nervous because I'm going completely on my own.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I hope so. I mean, there are a few people who I know or at least that I'm acquainted with, who are going to be there that we're going to try and meet up. One of them is Brittany Ackerman, the other voice actor for the ponies. Also did the voice of Rainbow Dash in that Pony Girl video.
I've heard of Brittany Ackerman, yeah. I've
Yep.
heard of her.
Yep. We've chatted. We'll probably be meeting up and communicating at Everfree because fuck it, that's a thing that can happen.
Fine.
And of course, I posted a video a few weeks back where I showed off the shirts that'll be my identifying markers. So if anyone happens to see me sauntering about and recognizes me, well, they're welcome to come up and say hi. And I'm kind of curious, how many people are going to recognize me? Am I going to get swamped, or am I going to have like one person that I've never met before walk up saying, "Oh my god, I love your shit," and I'm going to be like, "Okay, cool."
No, you're going to get
Why are you hugging my leg?
about to say, you're going to get a whole bunch of them just going to glump you out of nowhere and say, "Notice us, senpai."
Either that or someone is going to come and start strangling. Why did you murder that one character who we haven't had the spoiler warning yet?
Oh, you're going to get you're going to get Twidash haters from Little Choices.
Little Choices doesn't have a reading though, and it's all my YouTube channel based here. So,
But they could still read from your fanfic.
I guess.
And on top of that, the Fiends trilogy and all the hate that you're probably going to get from that one.
It does. That one doesn't really have much of a reputation, so it's kind of an
It's
under
still-
the radar kind of thing.
It's still possible, and we talk about it quite frequently on here.
Yes, and how many?
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
and all of 2 people watched
Oh.
Jibber Jabber. So,
Eh.
Speaking of, I had a weird thing today where someone messaged me saying that she's translated like the first 10 or so chapters of my fic into Chinese, and I'm posting them on some sort of Chinese version of Fanfic.
Which one?
Change.
Oh, change.
Yeah.
that's cool.
I went on the site and I retranslate everything back into English, and my god, it is magnificent to read.
Translating. If it's an automated translation, I bet. What do you think one of my April Fool's video was?
Oh,
instead
God.
of being at one point in the prologue of Change, instead of describing Twilight as the princess of the changelings, it's described as princess of the evil spirits. I don't know why, but
I am Twilight Sparkle, princess of the evil spirits.
Oh, how adorable.
Somewhat still. Some sentences have been reconstructed slightly, but still make sense in the original context. But others, like, what?
I just picture her just waving a stick around while she's bantering like that.
Oh, I'm gonna head on to it right now so I can find a few examples, and I'll tell you what I found. Hold on. Change.
I'd probably be like, "Oh, you're adorable."
Well,
Go.
well, you're looking for that. We do have a couple of topics we're going to cover today. I suppose we'll go into the first planned one after we hear some fun quotes from Chinese Change. You should just like link us the trans. You should just link us the retranslated document at some point. I could maybe use that in an April Fool's video someday.
Well, it's here. I'll put the link to it. You can just click in the top right of the browser to translate if you're using Chrome.
I use Firefox because I have standards.
Or you can just fuck you. Also, amusingly, the actual title translates into magical spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. The Chinese no changes magical spirit, which is very strange.
Well, I don't know about the spirit part, but the magical's not really that off.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with changelings, and Twilight not a spirit, so...
Might have something to do with what changelings are.
Only the females on the moon overlook the planet below. Okay.
The females on the moon.
They're the moon.
The females.
Oh boy.
Only the females. The males, they do something else.
They're toiling in the mines below the surface, bringing up the metals for the construction of the moon base.
Oh no, sorry, I got that wrong. What a coincidence. Her name is so similar to that of the evil-spirited child.
Oh, goodness.
This is giving me ideas. I almost kind of want to write a fanfic inspired by this mistranslation now.
Like, translated into Chinese, it probably makes sense because it's been translated from English to Chinese, but Chinese by
someone who actually
fucks up.
And isn't it being done by someone who actually knows Chinese and so can correct mistakes or actually make it make sense?
Well, yes, the person that's doing it is Chinese.
So
yes.
Translating it back into English with software is what's fucking it up and making it glorious.
Also, people translating it is probably better than Google translating it.
Oh, unquestionably, because Google Translate is only good for comedy. Like that Dirk Derncers thing I did.
It's also pretty great for passing high school Spanish class.
As
right?
we continue talking, I'm going to continue browsing through all these chapters of the magic spirit and seeing more funny lines.
I want to see an It Is He-verse story of Twilight somehow getting like Discord gives Twilight a version of this and just has her read it. It's like, wait, what is with this? I'm not a spirit. We're not. What?
How about just one where that has nothing?
Miracles of Google Translate.
How about one that doesn't have anything to do with Discord for a change, and somehow Twilight just gets confused and starts thinking she's an evil spirit or the princess of the evil spirits?
She just happens.
No, make it a follow up to the Death Altar in Twilight's basement. Like she gets back onto that train of thought. Like the original altar was a fake by Flim and Flam, but she still wants to meet ancient gods, and she finds a way to do something, and instead of meeting ancient gods, she drives herself partially insane and starts thinking she's an evil spirit, and she thinks she's creating storms of like electricity and balefire, but really she's just making tiny sparks in the air that are making the kids go, ooh, pretty. We could call it Princess Twilight of the Evil Spirits or something.
Princess Twilight of the Evil Spirit.
I want to do this now.
Oh, God.
Well, first we
Add
get
it to
Cuddly
the list.
Chrysalis, then you can do it.
Oh my god. Who'd have thought?
What the fuck?
What?
Okay,
What?
I just read one of the. Twilight's carapace is pure black. Like all illusions, her hooves is full of transparent holes. Her armpit hair is translucent blue.
What?
What? What say, Tom? I wasn't aware of Twilight had hormones.
Neither was I.
We could make this the whole fucking episode of Jibber Jabber, and I would have no complaints. I'm just gonna minimize my topics list until later.
I'm just reading the freaking prologue of Chains translated into Chinese, translated back. God.
Oh my god.
But that is so beautiful. Her armpit hair.
Since when
The first.
do changelings have armpit hair?
That was a translation of her main color, I think.
Oh, never mind.
The first time I saw my daughter's eyes, the evil spirits remembered the horizons of the wilderness that only appeared in the sky when the sun and moon alternated. I'm not quite sure what that was. Never mind, that's oddly philosophical, but
God damn it! I'm gonna have to go
It is
install
awful.
Google Chrome just so I can do this.
yeah, I've sent you the link. Oh my god, I would love you if you did it, the joke reading of one of these chapters.
God damn it.
I'm thinking about it for April Fool's next year.
Oh, just next chapter change, and it's just the prologue, but completely in English.
English.
Alright.
English.
You could possibly do that for like one of your one shots for
The
Wednesday.
birth of Twilight brought great happiness to evil spirits. Okay.
Well, that's
From
not
the
ominous at all.
day she was born, the evil scorpion made up her mind.
Scorpion?
I think that's talking about Chrysalis, because then
I'm
goes
about
inside
to
the
say,
daughter.
Scorpion doesn't come till a little bit later, but
No. Oh, well, he's just a. Well, he's nothing right now, but yeah.
let's say you yeah.
Oh my God, magical
Okay. I'll...
I'm about to say this is beautiful and how it's just
There are
Uh,
quite a lot of English moments. I'm trying to look for particularly funny ones.
You're right. We'll bring her back to the house. Oh, that kid'll be happy to go crazy.
Are you looking now as well?
Yes, I got an add-on for Firefox while you were talking.
oh my god.
God, this is ridiculous. Oh, hold on. Oh, Celestia's letter. Dear Dawn, I believe you are as excited as I am about the upcoming wedding in Cantel. Wedding? The light was puzzled. I will preside over this wedding, but I hope you and your friends can help prepare for this. Fluttershy, I hope you and your birdie can prepare music. Pinkie Pie,
Birdie.
Pinkie
it is
Pie,
always
close
best to make
bracket.
it is always best for you to make the decisions for you to entertain. Applejack, please be responsible for the food provided. Rainbow Dash, if you can perform when the bride and groom say I do, Sonic Rainbow is sure to be very exciting. Rarity, please design your bride and bridesmaids dresses. Rui seemed unable to move.
Rarity translates to Rui.
What?
It was Rarity in the freaking letter. That's the thing. and you will be responsible for the most important thing. Make sure everything goes according to plan. I look forward to seeing you. You are sincere, Princess Celestia.
You are sincere.
Princess.
Why is Twilight suddenly named Dawn?
No idea. They keep changing in this. But I don't understand. Who is to get married? Asked Dawn lightly, carefully recalling if he had heard anything about it.
Twilight got a
wait.
sex change.
God damn it.
Oh wait, hey,
Hold
I
up,
should
he
give you
prefers
this
Dawn
first.
now. Excuse
Spike
you.
calmed himself and handed it to the other scroll. Dawn turns his eyes and begins to read the contents of the second letter. Princess Celeste invites you to join Princess Miyamori Cadenza, that's somehow translated properly, and
How
my
the heck is
brother
that
wedding.
translated properly?
And my brother.
Because
Wedding? No, and the notes just say, no.
No.
Right, and that was chapter 1. That was the prologue.
Oh my.
We got more of these.
Well, we can come back to that. We can come back to that.
That's amazing. It's
Yes.
just, of all the names of all the names they
6
got
chapters.
right. But I'm serious though. Of all the names they got right, Miyamori Cadenza.
Remember though,
I
that was
don't
auto
know.
translated
Yeah.
back. The actual Chinese version is probably just fine.
Yeah,
So we can come back to that in a little bit. Let's give our
Yeah,
I'll
hosts a chance to
continue
recover.
collecting quotes in the meantime.
Let's get to the thing that was
And the
planned
Word
on the
document.
list.
We do have a couple of topics. Well, we're only getting to the topics 20 minutes into the fucking episode. Good God.
Well, we found
Well, we think it
magic.
saves 20 minutes of awkwardness at the end, eh?
You hush. So, today's first topic is yesterday's episode, whatever clause. I haven't actually watched it. I've only seen the first 5 minutes. And those
Neither have I.
and those 5 minutes were enough to make me nope out. It seems like it's going to be another one of those meh episodes this season. The season
You know-
seems like it's going to be kind of
you
a
know,
mixed bag.
You know the biggest sin of this episode?
What?
Applejack lied to Twilight's face.
Oh. The elements of honesty lie. Didn't she learn a lesson last time?
Didn't she learn her
I know
lesson
what
when
you
she
did.
almost got Big Mac into an amputee?
Well, basically, the
Yeah,
concept
but
of the
a lot
episode is
of
that Fluttershy, since the school opened, Fluttershy has won every single Teacher of the Month award.
Well, because
Well, of
she's
course.
Because, well, she's kindness, and
She's
the students
Fluttershy.
like her. Rainbow Dash and Applejack are put out by this and getting very competitive about trying to win it.
just let-
Which one of them can win it
You can
first?
just let Flutters have it, can you?
They want to see which one of them can get it first. So when Twilight comes up with an idea to send the students on a field trip to learn teamwork, she's about to give the job to Fluttershy. Then Applejack butts in saying she wants to do it. Then Rainbow Dash butts in saying she wants to do it. So Fluttershy suggests letting them both do it, and they can work together to showcase it to the students. You can see where this is going. So
Can we spoil this
Hey.
episode since most people here won't be watching it?
it's a
Go
crap
ahead.
episode.
Go ahead. So long as I know what happens, but don't actually have to suffer myself through it.
Spoiler
So
warning for
first-
those who haven't seen it.
Yes.
So at the beginning of the trip, Applejack wants to teach them teamwork by building a barn.
Storage shed.
Well,
Rainbow woodshed, whatever. Rainbow Dash wants to teach teamwork by having them beat some sort of canoeing record or something. They get into a big argument over it, which is really awkward for the students. Twilight butts in and convinces them to do both activities. They go to do Applejack's first. Applejack gets them to do it. Rainbow gets impatient, builds the shed in herself very quickly, resulting in something that just kind of falls apart. They get into an argument over that. They then go to do the canoeing, and Fiona, by the way, can't swim, but they put her in anyway because Rainbow Dash refuses to listen when she tries to tell her.
She
That's
can
the
trip,
yak,
she,
right?
She can trip.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But
Okay,
Yona can
well,
definitely
that-
trip. She can trip a lot and very funnily.
Yep.
I'm about to say, yeah, I wouldn't imagine a yak being able to swim.
Yeah, well, so they all get into the boat, and then, well, Rainbow Dash and Applejack keep giving conflicting directions, confusing the students and causing the boat to smash into a rock and break apart, causing Yona to almost drown, and it's
Oh, jeez.
that she's saved by Silverstream and Oculus. At which point, Twilight kind of appears and has a massive reason you suck speech for Applejack and Rainbow Dash.
Hey, Tom.
Like, best part of the episode, angry Twilight.
You forgot about the part where Rainbow Dash wanted to go to a side filled with killer fish.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get back to the killer fish. So yeah, at this point, Twilight is gonna take over the field trip herself because she's really pissed off with them. At which point, Applejack and Rainbow Dash start pretending to get along and basically say to her face, "Oh yeah, this is no longer about the Teacher of the Month trophy. This is about the students now." And they're both blatantly lying, including Applejack, and they are lying. And
Elements of honesty, people.
Twilight believes them and gives them another chance.
Safe.
You
And then flies off.
fool!
Oh, this makes me wish Tangerine was here. She'd have such a hate.
She'd be ripping
Yeah.
Applejack 17 new ones.
Exactly.
So then they go off and they continue arguing both, but this time kind of opposite. Each one insisting that the other do what they want to do because each one's trying to appear the better one to get the Teacher of the Month award, which results in them getting lost because they can't agree on which direction to go. And like the sun's going down, and they can either go the long way around and get back really dark and really late to the school, or they can cross a ravine, which Gallus points out they can just fly everyone across and be over in no time at all. But Applejack and Rainbow Dash both insist that, oh no, we have to build a bridge, and each of us knows which way to do it best. Both bridges suck because they rushed them to try and impress the students. They collapse and they end up dangling over a lake of basically, just really carnivorous fish that can probably strip their flesh from their bones, piranha style, which results in so they're fucked themselves over and they're really helpless. Students then have to work together and use teamwork to save their lives, which they do.
Which out of the whole episode, I actually enjoyed out of everything else.
Yes.
Watching the students do
Yes.
everything.
One of the students changed into a bigger version of the killer fish, the Changeling.
Also, this.
Ocellus, yes.
Yes, for so.
Yeah, so the students extend their lives and all of a sudden get into their heads that Applejack and Rainbow Dash had clearly been acting like they were disagreeing the entire time just to show them how not to do it, which they kind of go along, oh yeah, we meant that all the time. They return to the school. Twilight isn't fooled in the slightest. She knows they fucked up. At which point, they start blaming each other and arguing again, showing they learned absolutely nothing, and then the episode ends.
Fun.
Yeah. It was...
Kind of a
They put their own
mess.
they put their own egos ahead of the well-being of their students, almost getting them hurt, almost getting themselves killed in the process, and at the end of the episode, they're still arguing, and I've learned nothing.
Yeah. Seems like kind of an episode 1 version of things, frankly, or season 1 version of things, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and they lied to Twilight's face. Like, even Applejack, who's the other norm honesty.
Fool!
I will say, though, the person writing it was the first time they ever wrote for MLP, and probably the last.
Let's say that I might watch this later, but just
They
to see,
clearly-
like, what the hell, but...
They were a new writer to MLP, and they clearly didn't understand the characters very well.
It's a different side to RD and AJ that
Well,
you don't see very
that's
often.
Like, I don't
That's
mind those two being competitive.
competitive.
I don't mind those two being competitive so long as they do it in an appropriate context.
I mean,
It's like-
look way back to season 1 with the fall of the leaves or whatever.
Yeah,
Fall Weather
I mean,
Friends
they learned the whole competitive thing in season 1, and then there's friendly competition, and there's butting heads so much you're getting angry at each other and putting your own students' lives at risk
Yeah.
just to win an award.
Just to win a picture of your face on the wall.
Yes.
Teacher of the year is always
Month.
Flutters.
Month.
Teachers of the month always Flutters.
See,
And there were like,
yeah,
and there
that
were like,
episode was
and there were
cool.
like 16 different pictures of her up there.
You know, I have to ask
Like,
though.
a month
I'm,
16 times.
it
I'm
wasn't that
surprised.
many.
I'll say I'm surprised though. It's not like either Pinky or Twi.
Twice the principal. I don't think she actually teaches a class.
I'm sure she does some lectures.
Oh,
You know her.
I'm
You know
sure she's
her.
too busy picking up when friends fuck up.
I know if
And-
she did, Tom would be there in a heartbeat.
Tom
You
would.
wouldn't be there to learn any lessons.
Hey.
You'd just be there so you could be close
Hey,
to Senpai.
School aside, if I could get to Equestria, do you think I wouldn't be there already?
I'm about to say
Hey,
have
Tom.
have him go there and he can be Twilight's personal guard.
You are my senpai, my senpai.
Anyways, shall we?
And
Before we
Tom,
move-
if there was a way to Equestria, you wouldn't be the only one going. I think probably if the 4 or 5 of us would be going there. Tom would probably stay here just do fan fictions.
I mean, it all depends on whether or not I'd have an easy way back, and whether or not my body would change, and whether or not they were in the middle of a big crisis. There would be a lot of factors. If it were,
Well, hey, don't live in Ponyville, and you'll be fine.
I mean, if it's,
Live in Manhattan or something.
if I'm able to head over and keep, and I don't know if I'd want to go in a pony body or keep my human one. If I go in a pony body, I'm gonna have to learn a whole new skeleton and muscle structure, and that's gonna wreak havoc on my brain. On the other hand, it would be a lot less jarring to everyone if a pony came walking into town and just had a bad sense of balance instead of a human who has a bad sense of balance, because I have horrible balance.
I'm about to say, yeah, you
But
can.
as long as you walk in a straight line, I think you're gonna be pretty stellar, man.
I'm about to say that we could have another incident.
Another human nature.
Fire when ready.
Except it'd be a group of guys who do jibber jabber.
And of course, other circumstances.
Load the cannon
Now,
faster.
of course, if I could come back to Earth, like whenever I wanted, that would be a big bonus. I'd just be like, okay, I think I might go over to Equestria for a couple hours. Okay, I've been in Equestria for a couple hours. Time to go home. I'm running late to record the next chapter of Change.
Oh my.
That would be
If
it. And then, if it were possible to bring ponies over, well then.
Oh
be interesting.
God.
Let's not.
I would go.
I
with
would bring Twilight over and introduce her to the concept of the audiobook.
Dude, just show the internet. She'll be
Tom,
blown away.
If it were possible, I'd beg you to have one of the main 6 on this.
Well,
Oh, God.
sadly, that is not possible. I wish it were, but
That
it's
is
not.
That
At
is
least not yet.
It probably never
about-
will be.
Plus,
Dang,
if we
wow.
ever get like one of the major voice actors in the fandom for like just somehow magically come in here via Patreon and jump on here, that would be
Hey,
interesting.
if they're one of the voice actors in the show, patronage would not be required.
Well, I mean, not
There would
the-
be a special guest. It's like,
I
hey,
highly doubt we
Yeah.
can get Tara Strong or any of those girls in here. I highly doubt it.
If it had Tara Strong, I would be in full fanboy mode.
I would too. Tara Strong was is the voice of my childhood, but
She is the voice of Twilight, so she is best human.
To be honest, I'd like to see the voice actor of Pinkie Pie. God.
Andrea Libman, yeah,
Yeah.
who also does Fluttershy.
ironic. Anyways,
Two opposites.
so before we move on to the next topic, do you have any more fascinating, funny quotes from the magical spirit, Tom?
I got
Eagle
one
Spirit.
because I was too busy laughing with you guys and reading about an episode to read. But as the train gradually sailed to Cantalo, the voices in the Twilight brain suddenly became increasingly noisy until they occupied her entire mind. At this moment, suddenly, the murmurs gradually became clear. Where's that voice? The ray of fierce light suddenly shook, puzzled. What's the matter, sweetheart? Asked Apple Jack, only answered in a low voice. Oh, hey, no, nothing but some dizziness.
Oh,
Isn't it that
hey,
kind of
no.
dizzy Isn't it that kind of dizzy where you pretend to be a helicopter? Ping Kui jumped up and asked in the same breath as ever.
Pink
And it's-
Wee?
P-I-N-G space Q-I. A
Pinky.
straight thing? Apple Jack asked and turned to look at his pinkish pink strange friend. That's right, Pinky. I didn't know what it was, said Dengawang with a blushing face.
Who the hell is Dingo?
Pinky rolled her eyes. You guys out.
You guys out. Just get out of the train. You're dumb. Get out of the train. And then they're all thrown out. Remember that screaming, why am I not flying? And then she broke her neck on a rock. And
Well,
Wow.
that took a sudden left turn. Just like your neck.
yeah. The left turn was them being thrown out the left window of the train while it was speeding.
Oh, I was saying the left turn was the head, rather.
No, that was the sudden stop after the left turn.
That's just Tone, who just loves to just kill everything. He kills.
Oh, shining
bodies,
armor is
he
called
kills
silver
the
armor.
ships.
Silver armor.
Yeah.
Silver armor.
I mean, I could see that being his grandpa.
Silver
Also,
armor.
Also, Silver Armor seems to change gender mid-sentence. Silver Armor dismissed the guards in front of him and quickly ran to his younger sister, who stared at her unhappily.
I'm about to say, there's lots of gender issues throughout this.
Yeah. Oh my god. I have something to say to you, sir. Shu Guang shouted at her brother. Twilight's now Shu Guang.
Shu Guang.
Shu Guang. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but sure. Oh my god, the next sentence is, "Oh, I want to die you, my sister. How about the train journey?
I want to die
want
you.
to die you.
How-
D-I-E.
I want
Die and kill you."
Hi, Twilight. I want to kill you. What? Come here. I've got my sword. It's gonna be fun, just like when we were kids. But you never killed me when we were kids. Yeah, I did. Don't you remember? I brought you back like 20 times.
Shining armor.
Now hold still.
Fun
Now hold still.
It means it sounds like a Shakespeare play.
Dear mother of God.
Also, Shining's name is suddenly changed to Silver Gaga.
Silver Gaga.
That's my new favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Well, that came in like a wrecking ball.
Can't read this poker face.
Okay, shut up.
Wrecking Ball was my Cyrus. Hold up.
Oh my god.
I don't fucking care. It's funny. Anyways, so that has been quotes of the magical spirit.
For now, I'm looking for more.
Let's move on to the next topic, where apparently Hades suggested this one, and this is the last pre-planned topic, and we can just go back to reading more quotes after that. But this topic is Hades suggested that maybe we'd sort of go around and plug individual fanfics that we've read and enjoyed over time that haven't been plugged here before. I've done it before. I guess Hades kind of wanted to do it, and if any of you have fanfics you haven't plugged here yet, well, now would be the time. I suppose we should go in order, some random order.
Well, Hades wanted to do this, so I say it's only fair that he starts. Thanks for volunteering, Hades.
Fair enough. Hades?
I'm
What
gonna say
is-
we can go top to bottom.
I'm about to say, Blank, what is with you and volunteering me for everything?
It's
whether
been done to me too many times. I'm just having my vengeance. You're just
having-
sorry victim.
Thanks for volunteering, Blank.
I'm gonna say, why don't we start from blank and then go to Tom, go down till Tom.
That's fine.
Or I say hold up on
Well-
this because I wasn't prepared.
Leave me out of this one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna concentrate on
Alright.
finding more quotes.
Yeah, let's
And I'm
start-
founding of.
Yeah, let's start
Well,
with
the
Hades.
one
Let's
I
start
co-
with Hades.
And the one I'm currently looking at before you continue, it's not a quote. This is an entire freaking segment that is just gold. But continue.
All right, All right, I guess I'll start and give you guys a chance to think of one. One fic. It's more than really a fic. It's actually a whole series that I found a few years ago and I really enjoyed. Was discontinued, which broke my poor heart, but
Oh.
I really enjoyed it. It's the Dusknoir series by Alpha the Griffin 17. It's, I'd say he made the first one in 2013. Basically, the idea of the whole series is it follows a unicorn stallion by the name of Dusknoir from Canterlot. Apparently, he also went to Celestia's School for Gifted Unicorns alongside Twilight. He really admired Twilight and wanted to be friends, but he never got the courage to go up and talk to her. And we all know Twilight wasn't exactly keen on making friends at that point.
Okay.
Basically, Dusk went through most of his childhood alone, up to the point of
Up to the point of what? You kind of cut out.
the return of Princess Luna.
Ah.
After the Summer Sun celebration, he was discovered by Celestia, and after a quick talk, Celestia gives him the idea to go to Ponyville.
Okay.
Basically, this whole series starts out with Dusk going to Ponyville, kind of integrating in with the main six, becoming friends, and it really touched me a lot because I can relate to a lot of what Dusk goes through.
The concept you're talking about here kind of reminds me of a story I read once, which was called Me, You, and a Library for Two. I think I've talked about it on here once.
I don't think so. I didn't.
I'll go ahead and give a very quick recap of that then. The basic idea of me, you, and a library for two is kind of similar to what you're describing, in that the main character bumped into Twilight when they were both still fillies, or kids, rather. The main character's a guy. And Twilight wound up being like his full-hood crush, but he never actually approached her for varying reasons, one being, not being brave enough to actually talk to her, among other things. But then eventually, after Luna came back from the moon, Luna and him, became friends because they frequented the same park at night, and they kind of became friends. And eventually, I guess Luna somehow figured out about the fact that this, the stallion once had affections for Twilight when they were foals, and decided, let's do a thing. And he's a writer, and he's recently been suffering from writer's block, so Luna conspires with Celestia to come up with a fabrication. We're going to send you on vacation to Ponyville so that you can try and get your writing muse back. You'll be staying with Celestia's student while you're there. What it's actually is they're not really trying to help him to get his writer's block fixed, although that is definitely part of it, but mostly they're just sending him there so that he can meet Twilight and be like, okay, you two, now kiss, while they're watching from the bushes.
Oh, God.
The first few chapters are kind of rough and not very well proofread or edited, but it gets a lot better as it goes, and it's a good read. I would recommend it.
Yeah, that does sound very similar to this, and I really just recommend just going through this. The series was discontinued, but it goes up to about 6 books worth of stuff, and the first book is like something up chapters in 65,000 words. So yeah, it's really good, and I really just recommend it for a lot of people. So that's mine. Who's next?
Well, I do have a couple stories I want to plug, but does anyone else have any? I plug a lot on here, so if anyone else has stories they want to plug, I say let them go first.
Nope. All right. See, I got a bunch. Jeez.
Settle with one or two.
Yes, one. Well, if you may or not know, I am a big, Human Equestria fan. So.
Yep.
Oh no.
Hush, Hades. The story King Sarma the unmotivated. Thank you.
Use your words.
You've told us about this one.
Yes, I've which a good story because Sarma gets sent through the human world through a toaster, as some may or may not know. Which I love about it is, what happens after Equestria after he gets sent there. Apparently, it's falling apart. The way of creatures are appearing out of nowhere, and everything's getting destroyed. Canterlot is wiped off the map. The Crystal Empire is being slowly rebuilt. Yes.
So everything just went to shit while Sombra was gone, and then he doesn't have any interest in going back.
Nope, he doesn't want going back. Of course, the main 6 comes and drags him back.
Why?
For a ritual that's supposed to make things all better.
Like, hey, Sombra, we're gonna sacrifice the fuck out of you. What?
Also, Celestia is dead.
Oh, I wasn't the first one to do it then.
About to say,
I think there's been many Celestia deaths over the years.
Yeah, Celestia was dead before he got taken back. Later in the thick, Luna dies.
Oh, nope. Nope.
Nope. Nope, not doing.
Nope.
So all that's left for the Alicorns is just Twilight, because Cadence is dead too, apparently, and Shining Armor, because the Crystal Empire again got obliterated.
Rip.
Yeah, got ripped apart.
Yeah, it's just Cadence.
Yeah.
Dick.
So the only two beings there that have immense
Coming
power,
from Mr. Potato.
there is
Touché.
Discord and Twilight. Which Discord puts King Samra when they brought him back into an insane asylum.
Because it's Discord.
Yes. They gave him pills to make him look like an idiot. You know, one of those
God.
suppressed pills. What do you call them?
I don't know.
Sedative. They give him sedative pills.
Sedative. Wow.
Yeah.
Chill pills.
It's chill pills.
Take
All
it.
right.
Take a chill
Very
pill,
chill
dude.
pills.
All right. Yes, which I don't know if it was in the sequel or the first one. Something I love the most is King Sombra hated Twilight so much that he made a book series on her, on how much he hates her, like 6 books long.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, I've said my part.
Okay.
Next.
All right. Blank, you got one?
All right, so I talk about this story just about every time I get the chance. So I bet some of you guys already know what it is.
I do.
Yeah, head full of cotton candy. Probably by far my favorite story on the site. It's actually like an origin story for Discord, and I am kind of upset that I can never really accept this to really be canon. But I just kind of live with it. Made by the man with 2 names, hasn't been active for like a year and a half now. Geez, where was that comment I left? Because that goes in a bit more in depth about it. I keep referencing it, I swear. The story is just like beautiful and amazing, and I've never been like that attached to any fictional characters before. And I keep recommending it to anyone I can. Like, thanks to the show's canon, like this is like takes place thousands of years before it. I know that like it can't end on a good note because Discord's the villain later. But I don't know.
I forget, isn't Screwball like created in that too, or?
Yeah, and it's really clever how she's put in there too.
Nice.
Like you don't really realize it's her until about a few chapters in, and like all the chapters about like 6,000 to 7,000 words a piece, so it's not even that bad of a read.
If I could just go off on a tangent here real quick,
Go for it.
I have to ask about Screwball. When we first saw Screwball in I think it was the season 2 premiere.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys think the writers actually thought we would make this whole fan theory of her being the daughter of Discord?
I mean,
No.
I don't think they ever expected any of our fan theories, like the fan theory about Fluttershy stealing her cottage from her parents. That was a fan theory for a while.
I would say I don't remember that one. Or how about? I mean, there's just so many things that the writers just plug in to the show, and then we see it, we take off with it, and a lot of times they roll with it.
Like Lyra and
with-
Bonbon, or Lyra
Derpy.
sitting like a human all the time.
And Derpy.
Derpy.
And
sadly,
some of
sadly Derpy is known as Muffins now, but oh well.
I'm
She's
so
Derpy.
mad they didn't use Derpy or Ditzy or one of them, and it doesn't make a lick of sense because the Sea Serpent from season 1, when he came back in Slice of Life, they actually used the name the fandom gave him. That was a freaking subtitle thing from YouTube. Stephen
What's-
Magnet.
The only time she's ever been directly named in the canon was that one episode where Rainbow Dash called her Derpy. So yeah.
But Rainbow called her Derpy. I'm about to say, what the hell?
And they wound up censoring that because apparently some very sensitive people
Well,
didn't like that.
They censored her voice.
In the
They censored her voice,
UK,
and
they
they
censored-
removed Rainbow Dash saying Derpy.
I'm pretty sure they did.
and in the
They did.
UK they replaced the word cider with juice. So
Seriously?
Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
because in the United States, hard cider is alcoholic. Well, here all cider is alcoholic. So
I've heard her say cider plenty of times.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're in the U.S. Tom's in the U.K.
Oh, in the UK. Oh, sorry. I thought that was the other way around.
No.
no,
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'd say that doesn't really make a lick of sense. I'd say I
I've
don't know.
had cider that's not alcoholic.
but-
It tastes
Well,
like
that's cider.
really warm applesauce without the
Yeah.
texture of it.
Eh. I actually enjoy cider.
Yeah.
So do I.
The one time I actually had, the time I had booze on my 21st birthday, one of the only drinks I actually drank and enjoyed to any degree was cider.
Applejack would be.
Yeah,
Fair
I had cider
did-
in place of beer because the only beers they had on hand were enough to
Oh,
make
I
me go.
Oh no, I swear to God, my 21st, my buddies took me on. They said, "Okay, you got to drink." Okay, so they tried to get me just to get this generic beer stuff, and I swear I took one sip and I nearly spit it on the bartender.
Oh.
I
Man,
did.
I wish I had you guys for my 21st.
I was
gave you
able to.
shots.
Yeah, I was. Oh, I got shot. Oh, I got a shot, one birthday shot, and then I had a mixed drink that had a cinnamon straw. And
Man, I
then
must have had like the better half of a dozen.
Well, I mean,
They just kept giving them to me.
well, I had I had the stipulation and warning that if I woke up with a hangover the following day, I had reserved the right years in advance to clock my brother in the face as hard as I wanted, and he didn't get to complain.
Did you
And he
make
agreed
it
to
matter?
this, so I only had one shot, a birthday shot, a mixed drink, and that big glass of cider, and that was it. That was where we stopped.
Did you have Did you have a hangover the next morning?
Nope,
If you had a hangover, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I did not have
Okay.
a hangover. I didn't
Okay.
even start slurring my words. All I got was kind of relaxed.
Let's say the closest thing I've ever been to drunk was just this little buzz in the back of my head. That's it.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Anyways, I actually have a couple stories I want to plug as well, so let's segue back to the main topic here.
Fair enough.
I guess I'm done then.
I mean, I'm sorry, Blank. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to make a quick little tangent. I didn't mean to completely derail it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway, so the two stories I kind of want to plug. The first one is called Philia Noctis, and it's by an author named Storylover Vodder. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But and what its basic premise is it's set in an alternate universe where Celestia doesn't seem to be present, but Luna is. And,
I love it already.
And Twilight is the adopted daughter of Princess Luna, and Ramberdash winds up bumping into her. And the two have this really adorable but kind of weird and lopsided Phillyhood friendship thing. There's only 3 chapters in it so far, and it's slow to update, but what is there so far is very adorable and very enjoyable. And I know it's eventually going to have some kind of romance later on. I don't know to what extent or what form it's going to take for sure, or what turns it'll take, but I think it's worth at least checking out if you're into Phillies being adorable and that kind of thing. So I don't really have a whole lot to say on that one because there's not much to it yet, but I think it has a lot of potential, and I advise people to go check it out. The next one, I actually have 2 others now that I think about it. The next one, though, that I have is called Message in a Bottle by someone named Starscribe, and it gets updated like every week. And
Message in a bottle. I've heard of it.
yeah, and it's by an author named Starscribe, and it is, I haven't checked on it in a while because of varying reasons, but the basic premise is that it's a sci-fi story where humans come to Equestria, so to speak. Like, they sent a probe that establishes an underground base on Equestria and then prints off biological clones of humans who signed up for exploring the galaxy and spreading human colonies. So it prints off clones of specific personnel who are able to perform certain tasks, like a coordinator, a translator, a geologist, all sorts of different people. And the first one to get printed off, at least as far as she is aware, it's a he, but he wound up in the body of a gal. As far as she is aware, he's the first one. But he's actually like, I won't actually go into that, and he winds up going out into Equestria and gets found by lightning dust. And it's kind of an interesting thing of him trying to learn the Equestrian language and how it works and figure out about Equestria while maintaining communication with the AI and the probe and the base back where he was cloned from, so that he can make sure he's fulfilling his mission parameters while learning more and more about this strange new world. It is a very interesting story, and it takes very careful precautions to at least have some degree of scientific accuracy. And so yeah, it's very interesting. It's very fun in a lot of ways, and also it's very complicated in that it does deal a lot with actual science. So if you're gonna read it, keep in mind it's not going to be hard science fiction. There's going to be a lot of actual on-point science, like the fact that all of the cloned bodies are more or less made up of just, like, the outer layer of skin is pure scar tissue because of how the bodies are built up from the cloning material. It's kind of like a 3D printer, how it draws it one layer at a time. It's kind of like that in this case, where the physical body is more or less drawn one layer at a time inside of a biotube sort of thing, as far as I remember anyway. But at the end of it, no matter how it happens, the outermost layer of skin is all scar tissue. So, now this is, of course, not a problem because of fur, but still. It's also kind of funny because when other people start getting cloned, they all have the same body as the linguist.
Fair enough.
Now, as I mentioned, I do have one more story I kind of want to cover. This one seems to have gone silent for a while. The last time it was updated was over a year ago. But I think it's interesting enough to at least pay attention to, so who knows if it keeps getting updated, it might be worth it. It's called Frame of Mind, and it's by CC Pony, spelled with an E at the end. And the basic premise of this one is it's sort of a pony on Earth, human in Equestria type hybrid fic, where it starts off following a human who encounters Luna, who mysteriously got transported to the human world. And she knows how she got there, but she's having troubles getting back. And the main character decides, until she can figure out a way to get home, to bring her to his apartment. And it's kind of interesting because every time she asks, like, where's your source of magic? He's like, we don't have magic. And then when he comes back from work one day, he finds her poring over history books and an occult book. He's like, haha, you do have magic, although it's kind of dark. Anyways, I think I know how to get a portal home, so let me see your hand. He reluctantly shows his hand, and then she just proceeds to cut his hand with a knife to get a blood sample. Because she's basically following one of those rituals you might find in like the stereotypical over-the-top Satan ritual type things. Trying to pull like dark magic shit to open a portal back to Equestria, and of course, it doesn't work. It is a lot of fun. There's a lot of crazy and humorous shenanigans, but there's also some great drama and tension in there as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, could you post a link for that?
Of course, Paladin wants a link.
I'm about to say, yeah, it sounded a little up his alley.
Yeah, I'll put it in general fan fiction discussion
Exactly.
for you.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Anyways, so those are the 3 fan fictions I wanted to plug. So if any of you are interested in any of that, any of the readers, or anyone just chatting right now, go check them out if you want. Might be fun. And with that, unless anyone has any more stories they want to plug, we've reached the end of the plugging.
I'm about to say, Tom, do you have one?
Nope.
Fair enough.
I actually do have one thing. This just came to my attention. I just got a PM from Tangerine a little bit ago. It was actually 40 minutes ago as of the time I found it, but she basically letting me know she will be able to attend more Jibber Jabbers in the future. So, yeah, there you go.
Sweet.
Cool.
Couldn't attend to this one, but future ones, yeah. So,
Look forward to that.
Indeed. Looking forward to that, indeed. And so now, with all of that said, Tom, for these last 7 minutes, regale us with the magical spirit.
Fire away, Tom.
Fire away.
I'm very honored. After that, Dawning pushed her brother a leg away and continued to punish her teacher. But I'm still irritated. You're actually married to a pony I don't know. When did you know this? Myla Mayer Cardenz.
Milo Mayor Cardenz.
Little Princess Millimore Cardenz is a phonologist. She used to take care of you. The phonology? That is the phonology. The pony that will take care of young cubs. The pony that will take care of young cubs since the pony state-owned history.
What?
You said? She can take care of you, Silver-nailed a smile. My god, the phonology is the most incredible pony. She is beautiful, considerate, and she is kind.
So
How many ponies can spread love in the place where I am?
So
I only
Cadence
know
is
one.
just the phonology.
Oh my god.
Cadence,
You must
otherwise known
marry
as...
her.
You must marry her. Consent be damned.
You are married to the phonology. You are married to the phonology. Isn't it bothering me? Another voice said from behind in an open door. The two pony turned.
This is beautiful.
I
The
love
two
it. I
pony
love it
turned
so
around
much.
and saw a pink-horned beast walking down the stairs and walking towards them. Our eyes remained on Twilight.
Oh my my god.
Pink horned beast. Yes, more of this.
Hold on. Here comes sunshine, sunshine. Rhyme. The sun. Ladybugs, get up. Pat the double hoof and shake it.
Completely butchered.
Copy paste that in the chat. I want you to try and do it to the tune.
No.
Okay.
No.
There you go.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Okay. Oh, fine. Do it.
All right, hush. I can do it. Okay. Rhyme. The sun. The ladybugs get up. Pat the double hoof and shake it. Ta-da!
Applause.
Yes, clap for me. Give me my fucking award now.
Seeing the dawn suddenly began to sing and dance, the phonology seemed to have a little scared.
Oh, he's Twilight the
Twilight
Dawn!
his-
Is this like a religion origin story? The dawn danced and weaved, and the phonology was
Oh no,
confused.
she's Twilight now.
Well, I mean,
Twilight shook his body, both sad and disappointed.
But he's a
You
he.
forgot our sunshine
about to
dance
say-
yet?
what is with the gender with this?
I'm sorry. Hey, I just didn't see you for so long. I might be too surprised to think of it. No, it doesn't matter. But when Dawn did not have to finish her words, she was embraced and held tight. I miss you so much. Oh, phonology. I missed you too, but I'm breathing. Oh no, on anger.
The monotone delivery is making this fantastic.
Not everyone is a voice actor tone. Twilight's face became purpler than usual. Oh, the phonic screamed and immediately put the light back on the ground.
Now she's the
apologetically
phonic.
smiling.
Now she's the phonic. Hey, Thomas, guess what? You're in here now. Referring to the other Tom I know who goes by Phonic Note Studios on YouTube. I'll be sure to link this to him when it's uploaded.
After the twilight, the silver armor is struggling to laugh. Well, I'm glad to see that you are still so well off. I'm still a bit worried that the relationship you haven't seen so long will be alienated. It never will be. The phonology and Twilight voices are the same.
Said the same.
That was that segment. And that was the largest segment I copy and pasted. That was just gold, the entire thing. A separate thing I copied was Twilight always knew he was a daughter and that her psychology parents had abandoned herself for the daughter of this family.
What?
Her parents and elder brother did not try to hide this, but at the same time, they also made it clear that they did not care that Dawn was not a biological child, whoever she was. She would always be the daughter of Luminous. Hold on. She would always be the daughter of Luminous and Thin Daughter, the sister of Silver Armor.
Luminous. When did Horizon get into this?
Why did Twilight become a... Why is Twilight Drifter's sister?
I don't. Well, that would explain a few things and how well they get along.
Twilight Velvet translated as Thin Daughter there.
Thin daughter.
I don't know.
Why
Thin
is she
daughter.
so thin?
Why? I've become this worm-like pony. There are holes in my legs. My single horn is still bent.
Why have I become a worm pony?
I've become
I mean, she is a bookworm, so...
was that a bookworm joke? I feel like that was a bookworm joke.
Yes, that's page 1 of 2 of things I collected.
Oh yeah, the bookworm joke.
these
That was in the hotel. I also posted a new chapter of the hotel. Did any of you notice that?
I need to
Yeah, I
read
saw
that.
that.
I say I need to read it.
What she did not know was that some of her love had been hijacked in hamburgers beforehand, and she was unknowingly eaten. This is a very important issue. The evil person needs to take this opportunity to confirm to what extent her daughter has developed. According to the speed at which Twilight absorbs its energy, she can calculate how much Dawning's need for active love has reached. Okay.
The love had been hijacked in hamburgers.
Yes.
I guess.
After watching Dawning eat half a hamburger, the evil cricket estimated that her development was about halfway. This way, the priest could confirm how much love she needed to eat. She was surprised that Dawn had reached this level, but there was no sign of malnutrition at all. Her friend's love must have been sufficient and of high quality. But at the same time, it also made it more important for the cult to believe that the upcoming event was happening. She was glad her time was so accurate.
Well, on that confusing and sobering note, it is time for us to end. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Jibber Jabber, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Ta-ra.